Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Wooden Railway Adventures, Episode 144, Coal Crisis.
"Good morning, sir," said Cranky the Crane. "What are you doing here so early?"
"Hello, Cranky," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I'm waiting for Bulstrode. He's coming from the mainland and has an urgent message for me."
"Oh, well, that's very interesting, sir," said Cranky. What's this message about?"
"Well," said Sir Topham Hatt, "have you heard that rumor going on for a while that there's been a shortage of coal here on the island of Sodor?"
"Yes," said Cranky, "I have, sir, but I didn't know if it was true or not."
"Well, it is true. In fact, very true," said Sir Topham Hatt. Just then the sun broke over the top of Gordon's Hill, and Cranky could now see that everywhere in the yard there were engines everywhere.
"Sir," said Cranky, what are all these engines doing here?"
"This is the product of our coal shortage," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Yes, a lot of engines are now in the yard because I have no other place to put them. I don't want them on the main line in case a train comes through there, and so, well,
The yard is the only place I can think of." "Wow," said Cranky, "there are engines everywhere, sir. I knew there was a coal shortage, but I didn't realize it was this bad."
"Neither did I," said Sir Topham Hatt.
"Oh, look, here's Bulstrode. Maybe he'll have my important message that I need to hear from him."
"Bulstrode, please tell me that you have good news," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I'm sorry, sir," said Bulstrode, "but I don't, sir. In fact, the mainland is having a shortage of coal as well. They aren't able to give out any rations right now." "Oh, dear," said Sir Topham Hatt. "This is bad. Very bad."
"Why is it so bad, sir?" said Cranky.
"We don't have any coal left here on the island of Sodor, and I was hoping that the mainland could possibly help us out. But, well, it doesn't look like they're much better off than we are right now. Ugh, this is terrible, just terrible. The island of Sodor is officially in a coal crisis."
And Sir Topham Hatt was right. The island of Sodor was in a coal crisis. There wasn't enough coal for all the engines, and so unfortunately, some of the engines began to run out. The first group of engines to run out of coal was, unfortunately, the tank engines, because they couldn't carry enough coal like the other tender engines, because they only had bunkers. The tank engines weren't exactly thrilled about this, that they had to be put in the yard to get out of the way, but they knew that was for the greater good of the island of Sodor, and thus they didn't complain. But unfortunately, not even the tender engines could escape the fact that there was a coal crisis. Tender engines began filing into the yard as well. They had run dry of coal. Even some of the most island's famous tender engines, like Edward, Donald, and Douglas, were now seen sitting in the yard because, well, there just wasn't enough coal, and the coal that was left over had to go to some of the strongest engines on the railway. Because most of the steam engines had run out of coal, the diesel engines now had to pick up on the extra work. Daisy soon left her job pulling the milk and was now assigned to pull Annie and Clarabelle. Derek and Salty left their jobs at the docks and were now pulling coaches. Mavis got to pull Toby's faithful coach Henrietta around, and Frank got to pull Old Slow Coach as well. Because the diesels had so much work to do, the oil depot was getting quite a workout. This is where Sir Topham Hatt spent most of his days because he was quite concerned. It seemed like right when one diesel would finish getting fueled up, another diesel would arrive and need to get fueled as well. Sir Topham Hatt was at first concerned that the oil depot would not be able to keep up with demand, but after watching it for a few days, it looked like the oil depot would be all right. One day, Sir Topham Hatt was with BoCo and Dennis at the oil depot. He had just arrived and was very tired. "Ugh," he said. "Hello, BoCo. How's it been going lately?" "Not good, sir," said BoCo. He was also exhausted. "I've been trying to keep up with my train, sir, but since there's no steam engines to help, it's been very hard." "Yes," said Sir Topham Hatt. "I understand. Well, if there was anything I could do, I would do it, but, well, the diesels are the only things I have right now." "I understand, sir," said BoCo. "Man, I wake up so early in the morning and go to bed so late at night, it's almost ridiculous." "Yeah," said Dennis, "I'm exhausted as well." "I'm sorry to hear that," said Sir Topham Hatt, "but until the island of Sodor gets more coal, you diesels must continue to push on. Just remember that." "Oh, we will, sir," said BoCo. Just then, around the corner came Paxton, and he stopped right in front of Sir Topham Hatt. "Hello, Paxton," said Sir Topham Hatt. "What's the matter?" "Sir," said Paxton, "Gordon has run out of coal while pulling the express." "Oh, dear," said BoCo. "Yes," said Dennis. "Oh, dear. Wait, wasn't Gordon the last steam engine on the island of Sodor with coal?" "Yes," said Sir Topham Hatt crossly, "he was." "Well, that means that every single steam engine on the island of Sodor doesn't have any more coal." "Precisely," said Sir Topham Hatt. "BoCo, you must go pull that train at once. It cannot be late. I heard there's a very important passenger on that train, and so the train must not be tardy." "I understand, sir," said BoCo. "I will go right away, sir. But what about Gordon?" "Oh, Gordon. If you have time, drop him off at the yard. If not, then, well, pull him with the train. Remember, these trains cannot be late. I cannot stress that enough. Just because we have a shortage of steam engines doesn't mean that's an excuse for late trains. Do you understand, sir?" "Yes, do you understand engines?"
Yes, sir, said BoCo. I understand, sir. Paxton backed up, and BoCo raced away to go save the express. Dennis then pulled up to get refueled. Well, that was a close one, said Sir Topham Hatt. You know, Dennis, if only your long-lost brother would show up, I would have a job for him finally. Yes, sir, said Dennis. I know, sir. I've been looking for Norman all over the island of Sodor, but I haven't been able to find him. Well, that's quite a shame, really, said Sir Topham Hatt. You know, sir, said Dennis, we can use all the help we can get right now, sir. And, well, those 3 diesels over there look like they could be some extra help to the island of Sodor. I've been thinking about that, said Sir Topham Hatt, but I figured once I went to go talk to them, they would simply refuse. It wasn't worth my time, you know. I understand, sir, said Dennis, but, Sir Topham Hatt, we've never seen anything like this. A coal crisis on the island of Sodor? The diesels need all the help we can get, sir. It's worth a shot. I suppose it is, said Sir Topham Hatt. You know what, Dennis? I am going to talk to them, right now. Thank you for the inspiration. No problem at all, sir, said Dennis. Just try to get as much help as you can get, sir. Oh, I will, said Sir Topham Hatt, and with that, Sir Topham Hatt walked away. This, said Sir Topham Hatt, is not going to go well. Sir Topham Hatt arrived at the diesel shed a few minutes later. The diesels were resting there comfortably. Hello, diesels, said Sir Topham Hatt. Oh, said Diesel in an oily voice. Look who this is. Sir Topham Hatt, or as I like to call him, the fat... Sir Topham Hatt to you, said Bertie as he raced by. Whatever, said Diesel crossly. Anyway, Mr. Sir Topham Hatt, what are you doing here at the sheds? I don't know if you heard this or not, said Sir Topham Hatt, but the island of Sodor is in a coal crisis right now. What? Said Bert. A coal crisis? But, sir, your steam engines are reliable. They would never have a coal shortage, wouldn't they? Yeah, said Airy. I thought the steam engines were perfect. This has nothing to do with the steam engine, said Sir Topham Hatt. I cannot stress that enough. Now, if you would please listen to me. The island of Sodor is in deep trouble right now, and you 3 diesels could be an excellent help to the trains. 3 more diesels equals 3 more trains going out. I am offering a proposition to you. And what is this proposition, sir? Said Diesel. Well, said Sir Topham Hatt, if you come out of the shed, then I will let you pull any train that you want to. Oh, said the diesels, that is perfect. It has finally met with our demands. Wait, said Sir Topham Hatt, you had demands? Yes, said the diesels. That's why we never came out of the shed in the first place. Sir Topham Hatt was quite dumbstruck. What? If I had known about these demands, I would have settled them a long time ago, and you guys would have finally gotten out of the shed. Oh, well, said the diesels. Your fault, I guess. Whatever, said Sir Topham Hatt crossly. I have no time for fun and games. Diesels, what trains do you want to pull? I, said Diesel, would like to pull Annie and Clarabelle. And I would like to pull Henrietta, said Bert, said Airy. And I would like to pull old Slowcoach, said Bert. Very well, said Sir Topham Hatt. Sir Topham Hatt knew that Thomas, Toby, and Rosie would not be very happy about these changes, but they would have to understand that it was for the good of the railway. Very well, said Sir Topham Hatt finally. If you pull those trains, then you can finally come out of the shed. Excellent, said the diesels. We will be at Knapford Station in 1 hour. No, said Sir Topham Hatt. You will be at Knapford Station in 15 minutes. Yes, sir, said the diesels very quickly. Good, said Sir Topham Hatt. Now I'm going to go away and get in my car, and by the time I arrive at Knapford Station, you better be there coupled up to your trains. Do you understand? Yes, sir, said the diesels. Good, said Sir Topham Hatt. And I want no fun and games. You're here to do your work, and your work only. Do you understand? Yes, sir, said the diesels quickly. Excellent, said Sir Topham Hatt, and he walked away. Well, we better get off to Knapford Station, said the 3 diesels. Bert started his engine. Ugh, he said, my wheels, they ache. And with that, he pulled away. Yeah, said Airy, mine too. And he continued down the line. Just a bunch of pansies, if you ask me, said Diesel. Come on, sharpen up, he said. And with that, the diesels rolled away. A short while later, the 3 diesels arrived at Knapford Station. Unlike what Sir Topham Hatt had said, they had taken their time getting to Knapford Station, and therefore, when they arrived, Sir Topham Hatt was very angry. Diesels, he said, I said here to be on time. You are now half an hour late. What am I supposed to do with these late trains? I don't know, said Bert. Maybe you should have thought of that before you decided to take us out of the shed. Whatever, said Sir Topham Hatt. This is a waste of my time, I tell you. A waste of my time. I don't know why I ever asked you to come out of the shed, but... Oh, well. Now, Diesels, I want you to take care of these coaches. Remember, these are not your coaches. Do you understand? Yes, sir, said the 3 diesels, but they didn't really care. Good, said Sir Topham Hatt. Diesel, you are taking Annie and Clarabelle to Wellsworth Station. I will see you there in half an hour. Do not be late, said Sir Topham Hatt. I won't, sir, said Diesel, and with that, Sir Topham Hatt walked away. Oh, said BoCo, it's nice to see you 3 out of the shed for once. Whatever, said Diesel crossly. Come on, guys, let's take these coaches to the scrap yard. What? Said BoCo. What are you doing? I can't believe Sir Topham Hatt fell for it, said Harry. Yeah, me neither, said Bert. This is excellent. You're going to take these coaches to the scrapyard. Why? Because Thomas, Toby, and Rosie are our enemies, said Diesel, and we can finally get back at Sir Topham Hatt for sticking us in the shed for so long. BoCo was very confused. I won't allow this, he said. I will stop you, and look, I'm pulling the express. I will stop you for sure. No, you won't, said Harry. You will not. Yes, said Bert. We will succeed, and you will not. BoCo didn't really know what to do. He thought the Diesels were joking, but then when Diesel started to pull away, he realized he wasn't. Oh, stop at once, said Diesel. Stop at once, Diesel, said BoCo. You can't do this. I will do whatever I want to do, said Diesel. Come along, other fellow Diesels, said Diesel. Let's go to the scrapyard at once and end these coaches' miserable lives, please. And with that, Diesel began to pull away. He only got a few inches, though, when the coaches stopped him. Diesel pulled and pulled on the coupling, but nothing happened. What's going on, sir? Said Harry. I don't know, said Diesel. He pulled again and pulled again. He wasn't gaining much ground. Are the coach's brakes on? Said Harry. No, said the conductor. Look, they're off. Come on, Diesel, let's go. You can't be late. I'm trying, said Diesel. He started to make his way around the bend, and just then, all of a sudden, the coupling snapped and Diesel went right off the track into a field. Uh-oh, said the Diesels. That wasn't good. BoCo laughed. Well, there's one Diesel down, he said. Diesel was, of course, not very happy. Annie and Clarabelle had heard the entire scheme, and they were glad that they would not be taken to the scrapyard. Said Harry. Diesel, you're such a wimp. I am not a wimp, said Diesel. The coupling was weak. That was all. I'm sure it was, said Harry. See, look, I will take Henrietta to the scrapyard with pleasure. And Harry began to pull out of the station. Look, he said, this is easy. Whoa! Henrietta soon gave Harry a giant bump, and he raced down the line. Help! Said Harry. And all of a sudden, at the end of the line, he crashed off the edge and into a field. Only Harry was hurt, but Henrietta had stayed on the track. BoCo was watching this and was in disbelief. Well, that's 2 Diesels down, he said to himself. Said Harry. Diesel and Bert were always the weak ones, he said. I will show them what it's really like. Come on, old slow coach. Let's take you to the scrapyard where you really belong. I will not have it, said old slow coach. I will not have it. You can do nothing to stop me, said Harry. Look, watch this. I'm taking you to the scrapyard. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. Just then, as they came to the crossing, however, old slow coach gave Harry a giant bump, and he suddenly came off the track and smashed into the signal box. Ouch, he said. That hurt. Old slow coach was uninjured and still on the track. BoCo could not believe what he had just witnessed. Wow, he said. That's 3 Diesels down. Very interesting indeed. Sir Topham Hatt soon learned about the incidents, and he arrived back at Knapford Station very unhappy. Well, he said, this is not what I expected from 3 Diesels that had been in the shed for a very long time. I don't know what to say. Perhaps it was too early to bring you out of the shed. No, it wasn't, sir, said Diesel. We just need time to redeem ourselves. I'm sure you do, said Sir Topham Hatt. How about you think about your actions, in the shed? In the shed, said Diesel. We've been in there for months. Don't send us back, sir. Please, don't. Oh, whatever, said Sir Topham Hatt. I don't have time for this. BoCo, will you be able to take all 3 of these trains, including the express? Of course, sir, said BoCo proudly, and I can promise you, sir, I won't crash. Very good, said Sir Topham Hatt. I will call the breakdown train over, and Diesel, Larry, and Bert, you can just go back to sitting in your shed. And while you're at it, just kind of think about the actions that you've done recently, will you? Later that day, the 3 Diesels found themselves back in the shed that they were so accustomed to. Well, that didn't go well at all, said Bert. Bert, said Diesel, please be quiet. I don't need anything from you right now. Well, it is true, sir, said Harry. We finally get let out of the shed, and what do? We make fools out of ourselves. Yes, said Diesel, I can quite see that right now. Bert, you have broken side rods. I have a badly damaged front end, and Harry, your brakes are gone. It'll be quite a while before we're out of the shed. Sir Topham had been watching the whole scene from a distance, and he can only turn around and laugh to himself. Yes, he said, I knew it was too early to send you Diesels out of the shed. Looks like I was right. Oh well, I'll check back in with you in about a month or so. How does that sound? Said Sir Topham Hatt. The Diesels were quite upset, but they knew on the inside that they truly had deserved it.